more signs of violence. Recently, in the last few weeks, we've been having world congresses, APC especially, and then we also have seen the outcomes of those congresses where people have taken arms to these congresses. I think one of the local government chairmen were killed during one of the congresses, and we also heard how the labor minister escaped death. This is just the World Congress. So if we don't stop this hate speech, it's going to take us to a point that we don't want to get to. I think our politicians should now begin to do things differently. What is your agenda? What do you have for the people? What is that change that you want to offer to the people? What's that good life? What's that dividend that you want to offer to the people? I think if all of us as politicians will begin to come out and begin to say
Are
those
you not a
things.
politician?
No, I'm talking, you know, you know,
Political animals we
yes,
are.
all of us. When I say that, I'm talking of us as a country. If politicians will come out to begin to tell us, okay, this is what I can do, this is what we can do together, I think it will be peaceful. But by the time you come in and then all you're talking about is, what the past person did that is not right, in the process of saying that, you think you're convincing the Nigerians to vote for you because by the other or the past administration bad. I think before you know it, you'll be saying those things that could constitute as hate speech. So I think politicians should depart. Let us begin to base our campaigns on issues. What can we do? What can we achieve? It is far far better.
Okay.
When we have leaders who have the conscience of the people, who have genuine interests of the people at heart, this is what the Sultan has just exemplified. And I'm using this opportunity, I'm using this platform to make a call to other traditional rulers, because as a fact they are the custodians of tradition, and when we talk about tradition, it's all built upon the pedestal of peace. And if the Sultan has set the ball rolling by coming out to make this clarion call at this very timely moment, every other stakeholder in Project Nigeria should join the Sultan. And it's a very commendable step the Sultan has undertaken, and it's a call that anybody who is a stakeholder in the Project Nigeria should do the same. And particularly the traditional rulers should do that, because from the roots, from the basis, this message should start sinking in. The earlier, the better. Now, talking about hate speeches, we just had the APC World Congresses, and from the reports we've been gathering, it wasn't a smooth sell at all. We've had skirmishes broke out here and there. We had cases where certain influential members of the parties were almost mobbed, were assaulted. We've had places where the World Congresses were even cancelled. They disrupted on account of grievances, and this disgruntled elements within the party felt it did not go their way, or things were not done as transparently as they ought to be. Now, if this is happening within a political party, this is intra. Now, how about inter? When we start exchanging, when candidates actually emerge, and party A is fielding a candidate, party B also has a candidate, and all of them are going in for this single position, you now start hearing a lot of caustic, a lot of acidic, a lot of very toxic comments emanating from these politicians, all in their bid to undermine the opponent while selling their own candidacy or selling their own candidates. But the electorate is going to be the worst for it, because after the elections, certain seeds of discord would have been sown in the minds of the loser, or the possible loser, who would always believe that, oh, this man won because of so statement that he made against my person or our people or my candidate. And therefrom, you start having this problem of never seeing anything right about the man in office, always looking for ways to undermine the one who is occupying the position currently. So hate speech is very, very key And so the political leaders as well, the political parties should also tap into this word of counsel by our elder, the Sultan of Sokoto, and other traditional rulers. There is need to start building this message within the parties. Caution your party members, caution your candidates, caution your aspirant, caution everybody you know that has any business to do within the party. Please, when you go out to market yourself, market your programs, market your manifesto.
Yeah, how can they really draw that line between marketing themselves properly? You know, sometimes the temptation is there for you to have to say that, oh, this product will not work. And you have to go an extra mile to prove that this product doesn't work. It is my own that works. So in a bit to do that, I think is where they actually just go overboard. So how do they strike that balance?
It's a matter of you focusing attention on the positives. And the positives here are about you, not about him or them. So go out there and sing your own tune. Sing your praises. Sing about all those positives that you are bringing on board. Well, if somebody draws your attention and say, oh, the man currently in office has so much negative, don't focus on that. And when we talk about hate speech, it's not like when you go out, maybe you want to point out certain disadvantages or defects about a product or an item or service. I think it's the choice of words you use. When you pick on candidate A, make it seem that everybody in that party or everybody who is lined up behind him is a fool. You describe, as a fool. I think you're going overboard. But if you point out that, oh, candidate A attempted to implement so kind of, project, but because he never knew the nitty-gritty, because he doesn't know the technical, aspect of that particular project, that was why he couldn't make it. But I'm bringing on board my own team of experts. We're going to do this, and I don't see anything hate about that. Now, hate again could come where you now label a candidate or label some group of persons on the basis of maybe their tribe or their religion. Now, if you want to point out certain defect or lapses in one particular individual, you situate it on that individual and say, so person did not or cannot,
Not so people.
not so people, not so, can't you see him?
So they also need to learn diplomacy.
I do not. When you say diplomacy, sometimes we hide under the guise of diplomacy
Okay,
and
I
allow
do.
things go. It's
So
just
what
to
is there
show
to learn?
there should be that decency when we are communicating, when we're talking about. Think about yourself in the position of the other man. If these words were used on me, how would I feel? And sometimes these words would almost want to get. You just have to bite your tongue. Hold it back. Keep it back there. It's something we should do consciously. It's not as if we're perfect about it, but when it comes out in error, it could be pardoned. But when you come out premeditated, you now know that this man, that is what he's probably holding in his heart against me. It becomes very, very toxic.
I think beside cautioning the party faithful, we should also think of how we can come up with some level of sanctions. This party leader should say, look, if you indulge it, that's if we're really ready to check and do away with this hate speech issue, we should also have some level of sanctions, and say, look, if you go out there to campaign and then you indulge in this, you may stand to be disqualified, or something can happen to your candidacy. So I know sometimes it could be a constitutional thing, but then we should also let the people know that you cannot do it and then you go free. Because whether we like it or not, if stringent measures are not taken, politicians will still go out and begin to do these things the way they know how to do them better. We look at last election, and then we saw how people even went to the extent of bringing out personal things, family things, things that shouldn't matter at all. They're going to the media to bring out all sorts of dirty things against their opponents, and this is not what we need. What we need is constantly tell us what can we achieve if we have you in. If you occupy this position in this country, these are the issues. What do we stand to gain if you come on board? Issue based, like we've been saying, that's the only way we can bring about the change.
All right. Media Lab continues. Do stay with us. We need to go on a break at this point, but we'll be right back and take on more stories and eventually get to open up the phone line so you can weigh in on the matters. Stay with us on Human Rights Radio.
Making the world a better place every day. Human Rights Radio 101.1. Redefining broadcasting.
Ana shawartar mazauna birnin tarayya da su kasance masu mayar da hankali kan abubuwa da suka shafi tsaron kawunansu a kuma kiyaye fita cikin dare barkatai bugu da ƙari mu kuma kasance masu saka idanuwa kan rayuwar 'ya'yanmu musamman kan abubuwa da suka shafi shaye-shaye. Mu kiyaye ɗaukan mutane barkatai akan hanya don hakan kan sawa ki rasa ko ka rasa motarka. Mu kiyaye aje abubuwa masu amfani a cikin motocinmu yayin da muka faka motocin. Sa'annan mu ɗaga gilasan motocinmu sannan mu kulle ƙofofinsu da kyau don gudun fadawa cikin hannun ɓata gari. Mu dinga kulle ƙofofin gidajenmu da wundunansu da kyau. Sa'annan mu kasance masu kulle makarin gidanmu kafin mu fita don ƙauracewa azzalumai 'yan sani. Wannan saƙo ne daga sashin tattara bayanai da sanarwa ta birnin tarayya FCTA.
wọ́n ti gba àwọn olùgbé FCT nímọ̀ràn láti máa fura dáadáa kí wọ́n lè máa gbé láì léwu. Ẹ má jáde alẹ́, ẹ má lóògùn nílòkulò, ẹ máa fojú sáwọn ọmọ yín lóòrèkóòrè. Ní gbogbo ìgbà ẹ rí i pé kọ́kọ́rọ́ ìdáàbòbò ọkọ̀ yín wà ní títì gbẹngbẹng. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sì fẹ́ jáde alẹ́, ẹ rí i pé ẹ ti fèrèsé ọkọ̀ yín dáadáa. Ẹ má gbàgbé àwọn nǹkan tó níye lórí sínú ọkọ̀ yín àgàgà. Láwùjọ ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn kó má bàa fa ọgbọ̀n jálẹ̀kùn. Ẹ rí i dájú pé àwọn ilẹ̀kùn àti fèrèsé ilé yín wà ní títì pa nígbà gbogbo kọ́dàrán ọmọ bá láǹfààní àti wọlé o. FCTA Information Department ló mú ìkéde yìí wá sétí gbọ́ yín. Dem don advise FCT people make it dem dey vigilant for safety matter o. No dey go out for night. No abuse drug. Monitor your pikin dem well. Make sure say your motor security dey kampe. If you wan comot for night for jolly, make sure say you no leave better thing wey get value for inside your motor, especially anywhere plenty people dey. Make you no attract bad people there. Make una close your house doors plus including window every time. Make criminal for no enter. This message na from FCTA Information Department.
ndị ọma na-ege ntị ana m asị udo dịrị unu. A na-eme ka onye ọbụla mara na ọ na-adị mma ike nkwụcha wee na-asị onye ọbụla gbaa mbọ tinyere ụmụaka ya anya mara ka nwa gị si eje mara ka nwa gị si anata. Onye tinyekwana aka n'ịnwe ọgwụ na-ekwesị ekwesị ma ise nke osise maka na ọ na-emebi ndụ mmadụ. A na-eme ka ị mara na ịpụ n'abalị na-ekwesị ekwesị adịrọ mma. Ị ga-apụgodo n'abalị a na-eme ka ị mara na ọ dị mma ịkpọchisi ụgbọala gị ike. Ekwekwana ka ihe bara uru dị n'ụgbọala gị maọbụ n'efifie maọbụ n'abalị maka na ife ọbụla bara uru dị n'ụgbọala ọ na-ebute anya ndị omekome. A na-eme ka ị mara na ọ bụrụ na ị nọrọ na be gị ma ọ na ị na-apụ apụ fie isaa n'anya ka ị mara na ụzọ be gị na mpio be gị na ịkpọchisiri ha nke ọma maka ndị omekome. Wee na-asị atụọrọ ọmara ihe mana atụọrọ ofeke ofenye isi n'ọhịa. Ozi a site n'aka ngalaba ịgbasa ozi ọma FCTA wee na-erute unu ntị.
Jackizidei, Agaisha Walage, Ilarogue Azin, Yakain, Nabanukwain, Batatnajilayu, Yitajizalaba, and so quain, Yitasan Ayasasin, Yicha, Yashibanu Yiji Yikaya Bire, and Sahasahai, and Yadailo, Hajihako good day, and Sahasahai, and her baby anu, and so quay, Haidalanazaboye, the fireman I dna and Yadnail, your question quite Yazanu quay. Yishi akwaba guvena pi nsahai na vitabu ababa lefin yebede kwai kokun Abuja kizidna awidna bokunu.
The whole of Africa, come along with me, let me unveil the face of night.
Residents of the FCT are advised to be more security conscious so as to keep safe, avoid late night outings, and always ensure you have your car security locks on and wind up windows if you have to go out at night. Be careful who you give lifts to avoid car snatching. Never leave valuables in your car, especially in public places, as these will attract burglars. The general public is also advised to abstain from drug abuse, as this can lead to more crimes in the society. Always keep an eye on your children. Ensure that your house doors and gates are locked at all times to prevent intruders from gaining access to your home. Know your neighbor. If you see something, say something. Stay safe, stay alive. This message is from the Information Department, FCTA.
Making the world a better place every day. Human Rights Radio 101.1. Redefining broadcasting.
As the fourth estate of the realm, the media stands as the watchman of the nation. On Media Lab, we dissect the news items of the day through the men and women that bring the news to you to give you the full story. Media Lab, airing exclusively on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting.
Human Rights Radio.
Thank you for staying with us. It's 11:30 and Media Lab continues on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, where we take you around some of the stories making the rounds, and then we get to analyze them as well and give you the opportunity to weigh in on any of these stories. Now we go on to another one here, and it says President Muhammadu Buhari has blamed past leaders of the country, especially the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan, for neglecting the health sector between 2010 and 2015. Buhari said this in a speech at the 58th Annual Delegates Meeting and Scientific Conference of the Nigeria Medical Association in Abuja last Thursday. The president, who was represented by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, said that when the global price of crude oil was over $100 barrel per day, the Jonathan administration failed to seize the opportunity to invest in the health sector. There could be more to that story, but you can, find more and read on. I don't want to be the first to say anything, but let's listen to Oi.
Okay. I'm surprised that by now our president is still talking about the health sector after being at the front of affairs of this country for like 3 years. I think this time, these 3 years, would have been enough for us to begin to see some significant improvement in the health sector. I know that the president is aware of the fact that we have infrastructural decays in most of the sectors. And I thought that that is why the president wanted to come on board to change, as a patriot, to change these issues. So I think the time for the president to be saying this has passed. The president now should have been telling us, this was what I met on ground, and this is how I have built the sector to this point. Especially for a president whom have witnessed medical vacation, like they termed it, for so many times. I think there was a time he spent almost about like 100 and over days in UK on a medical trip. And since he came back, we haven't seen what the president had said. Look, okay, for so reason, that's why I'm going, I was here because this is how the sector is. Now that I'm back, let me review, or let me see how we can, not just saying, taking tangible steps to ensure that those things that were lacking in the health sector, that usually takes him to UK all the time that he needed to have a medical check, should be, brought down here. Those issues should be resolved gradually. So, but we haven't seen that. And after 3 years, we're still hearing the past administration is responsible for the decay. No, I don't think that's what Nigerians expect anymore. Nigerians agreed that we had decays in the educational sector, in the medical, in the health sector, and in so many other sectors. And that's why they voted for the change. So this change shouldn't be looking behind, again, looking for putting blames on the past administration. They should be solving the problems on ground. All right? That's what we need to be hearing now. So I think that when the president returns on Saturday, the president should look beyond. He shouldn't be looking back anymore. He should fix the health sector. He should fix the educational sector. That is why he's there to start with. So enough of this blame game. That's not what we want anymore. The decay in the health sector is something else, coupled with the strikes in and out of health workers. As we speak now, Nigerians are dying because the health workers are on strike because of salary issues and other issues. This administration is old enough to tackle some of these things. But I'm not really too surprised for an administration that came out to say, look, we did not, I mean, the health workers didn't even have any agreement with us. And I'm wondering why, because, you know, government is a continuous thing. If this administration passes, the other one comes and continues from where they start. So we cannot say they had an agreement with the past administration and not us. So who is the past administration? Who is us? So until this administration begins to look at Nigeria as a project for them to and begin to stop looking behind as what was done and what was not done, then they can move forward.
Nigerians were really full of hope when things turned around the way it did in 2015 at the general elections. Now, considering the fact that an incumbent who had been in power for so many years was dethroned when the masses actually stood up and said enough is enough of that administration. Now, I think an administration or a party that benefited from the goodwill of Nigerians to that extent should be able to focus its attention on addressing those key areas that actually impact upon the generality of Nigerians. And health happens to be one of such. Now, if today, 3 or thereabout years into an administration, we are still playing the blame game in a very critical sector like that of health, I think it's laughable because it paints Nigeria in a very negative, image outside there. Now, outside, people will now feel, aside from the terrorist attack, aside from security challenges, now again, this is more like a man-made challenge we're creating. It's all about situating what is exactly the problem with the health sector or a particular sector in question, and let's see how we could tackle it, rather than heaping, blames on outgoing administration or previous administrations. Like it or leave it, someday this administration would always be, referred to in the past. And I don't think it would be a welcome precedent for us to set it that whenever you are out, people should denigrate you. Yeah. Yes, we're coming from a very terrible period, and we thought we've had enough of doing things the same way. Let's have things done a different way. And that was how Nigerians, openly, sacrificed so much to actually vote this government into office. Now we're talking about health. If a key figure of this administration could stand up and make this kind of statement, what are you implying? Are you trying to say that for that reason, you're not going to do anything to fix what you find out is not working at the moment, that is not functional at the moment? Are you trying to say that, those of you who belong in the masses, you don't have any reason at all to benefit from quality, affordable healthcare delivery? Now, let's look at it this way. I understand the Vice President actually represented Mr. President where he made that speech. He was making that speech in the capacity, of Mr. President, of the President of the country. Now, where is our President today?
He's on a trip.
Yeah, he's on it. They call it, medical vacation. He's on, what is, the objective of this trip? What is the mission? You find out it is to go and acquire quality health care service, to seek medical attention to maybe whatever
That is not available here.
that is not available here. So the question is, why don't make effort? Why don't provide resources to ensure that we put up such medical facilities? We have the brains, they are bound here. And if it becomes so critical that we need that expertise and there's this particular area where it's lacking, what stops them from bringing the expert, to come in here? In the process, while the expert is performing his magic, let me call it magic there, our indigenous medical practitioners will be able to tap into that expertise as well. They will be able to learn in the process, rather than just, shipping our number one citizen outside the country. He goes out there. You talk of the foreign exchange that is going out, which, if converted, could have been utilized to put the facilities in place here. So, in short, when leaders make statements like this, I think unconsciously they're shooting the administration in the foot. Because the message people are going to read is this: the health sector, you take care of yourself. Because those of us up here, we have the means to take care of ourselves somewhere beyond here. And it's a very, very wrong signal they're sending.
And the last report.
Sitting very well with Nigerians. Let me just read this, and then you can just add your comments on it. The special advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, has said that the president is the only person who can reveal his ailment or details about his health. I mean, I just had to bring this in since we're now talking about the president's health condition, and I was just wondering, is it our business to really talk about that? He made the remark while reacting to a question about the president's ailment requiring another trip to London, the United Kingdom. Additional, according to the news agency of Nigeria, said that is something private and personal. The fact that a man is a president does not remove his rights and privileges to privacy. So, unless Mr. President comes out voluntarily and willingly to tell the country that this is what I have suffered from, then it's not for him to say.
It's funny to me because I don't know why. Is it an African thing or is just Nigeria, where the element of the medical condition that a president of a country has cannot be revealed to that country's citizens? Why is that so? I mean, from the body language that I see, is if it's possible for this the presidential spokespeople to say, look, this man is not sick, or this man can never be sick, then they would have told us that. But then, why is it not the business of Nigerians? The president has gone. The president has gone to UK today. The monies, the millions that is going to be taken for the payment of the bills that the president is going to incur in that place is gotten from where? It's gotten from the monies that belongs to all Nigerians. If it's the all money belongs to all Nigerians. If it's the taxes, you and I know that our fathers and us are being tasked every day. So the monies come from us. So we should also be able to know what the money is being spent on. And besides, he is the president of a people. I know a lot of times when I read reports from other countries, I hear where they will say the president is being treated for social ailment. The president is being treated for social ailment. So why is our own different? Can we begin to look at things? And that is why, you see a lot of stories being peddled around the place, because if you cannot come out officially and say this is the right information, then people will begin to guess and start saying all kinds of things. So I think the president, as a human being, just like he said, is not above any element, whatever it is called. And I think if they'll come out and say, okay, our president has so medical condition, I think Nigerians will even be happy enough to support and round him.
I mean,
I pray for him.
It's just for about 4 days. He should be back in the country Saturday.
Yes.
According to what the presidency is saying. So maybe it's nothing serious. Perhaps that's why we're not.
Whatever it is, the president, like I said the other time, spent over 100 days in UK on a medical trip. But they were not able to come out to tell us this is what is wrong with the president. So I don't think these 4 days. It may not matter much, but then there is a need for us to know what if our president is going to rest, or maybe he has a headache, or maybe he has a strain on the foot or the hand. I think Nigerians deserve to know. He's the president.
Well, this is just one of the concerns of some Nigerians. Another is the opposition party saying also that this proves that he's unfit to rule. So
I don't want to delve into the politics of that. When the opposition party comes out, in Nigeria we play opposition of hate, opposition of enmity, attack, and I don't even want to go there. Where I want to focus on is the fact that, yes, we have a president in office we all went out to vote for, even those who never voted for him. But as far as he emerged as a president, he is our father. Okay? Imagine a father ailing, and then his children don't get to know what is really going on with daddy. What is going on with you? Agreed, some persons outside, maybe non-members of the family, may not have ideas. Maybe some uncles will say, no, we don't. But your own biological children should know.
why?
Should know. You can keep that information away from your uncles, maybe your distant relations, but your wife, your children should know. In this instance, nobody is above falling ill. And nobody, as far as in his right senses, would wish another person to take ill so that I could benefit from maybe he's not going to be there or his illness. Agreed. It is the taxpayers' money that is used to fund these trips. Again, I sympathize with my colleagues, the information managers of the unless and until their principal actually shows them, this is the report that is emanating from my physicians from wherever, and this is the ailment they said I am suffering from. Look, their arms are tied behind the back. They cannot come out and say otherwise. I sympathize with them. And so in their bid to make defenses and think, in the first instance, it's even poor PR for them to come out and say he is not ill. There's nothing wrong, for goodness sake. Sometimes the stress of doing a particular job could even wear us down. We need to go and attend to our health. So what about it? Why are you not at work today? Man, I'm feeling some ache, on my neck. And then you deserve the break.
The fear basically is, what the opposition is already saying. That is like the fear for people not to say, oh, this man, I'm not sure, would want.
But for goodness sake, truth be told, one way or the other, we're bound to leave whatever position we're occupying today.
That's true.
Either naturally, one way or the other. And someone must always be available to fill in they say nature abhors a vacuum. Someone must always be there to fill in that vacuum. Whatever happens, the party in office will still, there are abundant of candidates there. I'm not wishing anything, negative. But I'm talking about this fear. Sometimes we tend to hold on to this fear when it is not existent at all, and it's affecting so many other things. I was making a joke the other day of, I told someone, I said, look, do you know that by coming out to tell the true picture, the true reality of things, you tend to earn the sympathy, the support and cooperation of people sometimes. But in our own short-sightedness, we feel, if I keep holding that truth away from people, or if people get, as superhuman, if they'll continue. But it's ironic because by the time people get to discover, with every passing day, keep pushing the truth, keep stretching it.
The truth keeps finding its way one way
and it's sneaking out. Then you talk about those who'll be making speculations, and it's bound to have some very, very telling effect. So for me, it is important. It is high time we voted in this administration in the hope that things are going to change, depart from the norm, the way they used to be. So why not come up and set that precedent? Break that jinx.
Let's be having family meetings.
Let's come on, Nigeria. This is the way it is. But as I feel right now, I'm hoping and looking forward to your prayers to sustain me. Let's do these things together.
All right. Let's see if we can get a call or two. 081 That is the number to call if you want to put your own thought to the conversation. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good day, Sister Ruth.
Yes, good morning to you. Welcome.
David from Central Area.
Okay, please go ahead.
Good. Early this morning, I called and talked about we're talking about the status of President Muhammadu Buhari status. I think it would have been very right if we are in a country that is lovely, a country that is, I think, caring. Not a country like Nigeria where you live where you come out from your house, you get a new car, your neighbor is envy you, jealous. Then we come out to begin to talk about the President Muhammadu Buhari health status, where some people will be sitting by motor park drinking, and the next thing they start using it and causing fights, killing people, killing innocent. I don't think it's right for us to come out and begin to talk about that for now. Thank you. God will bless Nigeria.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on that one. 081 Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, welcome.
Hello?
Good morning, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Yes, you're welcome. What's your name?
I am Samuel by name.
Okay, Samuel, please go ahead.
Sorry, I thought that the honorary president is the owner of the number.
No. Yes. Okay. This is Human Rights Radio, of course, so he can. Are you following this conversation, or you want to speak with the ordinary president?
I want to speak with the ordinary president.
Okay, you're going to have to do that later in the day, 4 p.m., okay?
Time the day?
Yes.
By what time?
4 evening.
4.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's see if we can get one final call, especially from someone who's been following the conversation. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're welcome.
My name is Muhammadu Kazura. I'm calling from Newcastle.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. You see, the issue of our dear president that we are discussing, quite all right. We urge our president to do more in the health sector so that we'll get it more better in this country. All citizens also should have the right of good care in terms of health sector. Then, declaring his condition, Nigeria is all right for that. If we look at, sometimes we were hearing it was poison, it was this, it was that. Let's assume it is true, and he disclosed it. Do you think this country will stay well? We want the tribal people will not take it easy, and we can go in other way around, which is we are not praying for that. You understand? But to me, I urge the president, our dear president, should do more on health sector. Sanitize the health sector. There are serious corruption in the health sector, and even the staff of the hospitals, they are even compromising in some cases because of their own private businesses. So they should do well there. The health minister should stand on his feet, put his hand on table, do the right thing for this country so that we get it right. That is my own call. God bless ordinary Ahmed Isa. God bless the family of the Human Rights Radio. You people are doing well. It's only God that can reward you people. And God bless Nigeria as a nation.
Thank you very much, Muhammad Kabiru, for that. We don't have enough time to pick more calls, but let's get your final thoughts in the studio.
I think we should just fix the health sector and stop looking back at the past administration. And for our president, who I was looking at the headline the other time where something was attributed to the president that God will punish Nigerian past leaders. And I laughed because our president is one of Nigeria's past leaders. He has ruled this country before in several capacities. So I think we should be mindful of the things that we say and not exonerate ourselves from the problems of this country. We should take responsibility and try to see how we fix the country, both the leaders and the rest of the people.
All right.
We must stop this living in self-denial, because that's what is causing this problem for us. Now, when we keep making reference to the past as always in very dark and despicable terms, we tend to forget the fact that somewhere, sometime later in the future, we're going to be, in the past as well, and will be made or referred to in the same terms. So it's nice that whatever challenge we're facing today, we should take responsibility, address those challenges, and move on.
Thank you very much to my colleagues Oikeke and Inyene for being here on Media Lab, and many thanks to those who were able to participate on the program today. Media Lab makes a return Monday, God willing. It runs Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays every week. So thanks for making this week's edition a success. But stay with us. The news will be coming up at 12. My name is Ruth Usman.
Making the world a better place every day. Human Rights Radio 101.1. Redefining broadcasting. 1.1.
All right, you know.
Rights Radio.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Redefining broadcasting.
Hello and welcome to the news at noon on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. My name is Oikike Igado Kure. The headlines. These are: President Muhammadu Buhari in London on 4-day medical trip. Again, Senate summons police IG and other security chiefs over killings across the country. And on the foreign scene, Iran nuclear deal, European powers try to save agreement after US exit. And in sports, Super Eagles manager says he needs more information on 2018 World Cup rivals. Details in a moment. Please do stay with us. And now the news in full. President Muhammadu Buhari is in London on a 4-day medical trip to the United Kingdom, UK. A statement by his special assistant, Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, said the president had a meeting with his doctor last Thursday and was asked to return for another one. The president will return on Saturday, May 12th, to Nigeria. Buhari's 4-day medical trip to the UK will be his 5th since he assumed office 3 years ago. The president once spent 104 days on a medical trip to the UK. The 75-year-old has announced his intention to seek re-election in the 2019 presidential election. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has restated the need for sustained support from the international community to mitigate the adverse effects of climate change in the country. The president made the call when he received a letter of credence from Robert Jan Petrie, the ambassador of Netherlands to Nigeria. Buhari said Nigeria would continue to pursue the replenishment of the Lake Chad Basin, which has dried up to 10% of its original size. With the population growth in Nigeria, the president noted the need to move faster and adapt to the impacts of climate change through technological solutions. On agriculture, Buhari welcomed the interest by some Nigerian doctoral students studying in the Netherlands on developing the livestock sector. For the third time in 2 weeks, the Senate has summoned the Inspector General of Police, IGP Ibrahim Idris, to appear before it over the rising insecurity in different parts of the country. The Senate also summoned other security chiefs over the proliferation of arms, which it said is aiding criminality in the country. Senate President Bukola Saraki said Idris is expected to appear before the Senate today. The IGP is expected to brief the lawmakers on the maltreatment of Senator Dino Melai, who was arrested and arraigned by the police. Idris had shown Senate's invitation twice within 1 week, but twice he sent the Deputy Inspector General of Operation Habila Joshak to represent him, but the senators refused to admit him into the chambers. The death toll in Saturday's attack by armed bandits in Gwashka community, Belningwari local government of Kaduna State, has reportedly risen to 71. More corpses were said to have been recovered in the surrounding bushes during a search for missing persons by members of the local vigilante group and security agents. Reacting to the killings, some Nigerians say enough should be enough.
Sadly, there have been deaths over the last couple of weeks. This has been consistent. I hope the Senate and the House of Rep can actually come together and put pressure on the presidency to take this very seriously. We're tired of it being business as usual, and we hope that it will resolve soon, because today someone is dead. He might not die again, but it means we are alive have a chance of dying, and no one wants to die for no just cause. So I hope that everybody will put their hands on deck. Let's be each other's security, and also hope the police and all the other security agencies can stand up and really do their jobs.
I heard they want to recruit more police. They should equip them well and get good vital information from these villagers, like their king or their chiefs. Maybe in terms of people who are coming in who are not from there. Because so what I heard in Zamfara, they said some people from other neighboring village do come into a particular village and infiltrate them to know more about them and how to attack when they want to attack. So I think what the government should do is that they should try and equip our police force, in fact both police, both army, and for them to get good information from the heads of every villages so that they will know how to encounter things like this when it comes.
I believe that we have what it takes to secure Nigerian people. It's because of the way our leaders are taking the people. They don't have feeling for people. They should please, because of the youth, we are the leader of tomorrow, because of our future, to put appropriate things, put things in place so that we can be secure to even lead tomorrow. Because if you are not allowed, there's no way we can be a leader tomorrow. So what is happening presently is as if we are cleaning our future unknowingly.
To forestall a recurrence of the insistent and persistent killings around the communities, President Muhammadu Buhari approved the establishment of a new battalion of the Nigerian Army and a new police area command in the area. The president, according to a statement by his media aide, Garba Shehu, strongly condemned the latest massacre of innocent Nigerians in that part of the country. Nigerians have called on all stakeholders to ensure that the country make a peaceful transition in 2019. Speaking on the violence that characterized the recent party ward congresses across the country, some people said there is need to avoid anything that could jeopardize peace of the nation.
Based on happenings that took place over the weekend, the violence all over the state, my advice to politicians and to also the youths that we should shun violence and stay focused and stay together, because together we stand right before, and make sure that we have a successful election next year.
I want to encourage Nigerian youths. Violence is not the nitty-gritty of our problems. There are areas of need. We have our PVCs now. If we are not comfortable with the incumbent government, our PVC will speak for us. We should shun violence, because the political class that are making use of youths, their own children are not here. Who would like to sacrifice his life for a political elite? After all, if you fight for them, after winning the election, they will build mansions, use skyscrapers, surrender themselves, and the police dogs and the thugs, they will see you again. So why should we die for them? I'm encouraging Nigerian youths to brace up. We are youths. We have the time, the opportunity to rule this country. And I feel the time is now. There's no need of violence. I encourage them to shun violence and do the right thing.
Violence is not a good result for a campaigning process. So if they have a good mind for the people that they want to lead, there's no need for violence. There's no need for riots. There's no need for people to be killed before you know that you want to lead. The youth that they are even used to cause all those riots, they don't have a future because they have been corrupt by peanuts that have been given to them. So I want the leader, they should please do away with all those things. There's no force. If people are not willing to follow you, you should leave them alone.
In another development, The National Population Commission (NPC) says it had commenced the listing of all dead persons in the country for the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) ahead of the 2019 general elections. Eze Duro Ihioma, chairman of the commission, told newsmen in Abuja that the NPC will complete the process and hand over the accurate data to INEC within 2 weeks. 2 months, rather. INEC recently requested for the list of dead citizens in the country from NBC beginning from 2015 to enable it to sanitize the voters' register. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has described driving against the flow of traffic by motorists as a suicide mission and criminal act. Senate Sector Commander of FRSC in Anambra State, Sunday Ajay, said this on Tuesday in Oka. Ajay warned that no matter the situation, motorists should avoid driving against the flow of traffic, noting that many had been killed in a bid to shorten their journeys. He identified other critical offenses to include traffic light violation, bad tire usage, speed limit violation, speeding, and use of phone when driving. According to him, the safety of motorists and other road users on the highway should be a joint venture that required the conscious efforts of all and sundry. He said the success of a journey is not measured by how fast one finishes, but how well and safe. And to our community reports now, the people of Galki community of the FCT Abuja says though they live in the city center of the territory, they are still confronted with issues of lack of basic infrastructure such as good road and lack of water supply, amongst other things.
The challenge we are having here is lack of light. Light is not constant, and the roads are very, very poor. The environment is very dirty, and in fact, a lot of hoodlums around. If government can help us to maybe be sending environmental every week, be supported by the police, so that people will do their rightful duty. There's water board. The water is okay, but the light is the problem. And look at the roads, very, very poor. Everywhere smelling, dirty.
Water board the rush normal, but light, they continuously.
We no get better road, see gutter everywhere, and we need water, especially the light stuff. We don't have light, and everywhere is bad, and we need government to help us.
Our government, it wants a good road, and night they say many government help people.
Men are providing us with water, but the only challenge we have in this community is we don't have lights. I tell you, I saw if I promise customer 1 week, I will not finish it in 1 week because of the problem of the light. It will still like 10 days.
If you say rain come fall now, you go see that keep poto too much. Matter for light, we don't see light, but bill don't go bring them too much. Because you not go fee pay. You go pay light, you go pay water. Where you go get money?
The road is very bad here, and the water, but for lights, they're trying, and the place is very dirty. So there is no proper incinerator. You can see they don't used to pack it on time. There is no water at all. If the government can tidy the road, clean the place, the environmental should be coming here.
And from that community, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Please, just stay with us. Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, European powers said they're committed to the Iranian nuclear deal after President Donald Trump of U.S. announced the withdrawal from the agreement. The UK, France, and Germany said they would work with the other signatories to the 2015 deal. Russia and China, which have stressed continuing support for the accord. President Donald Trump on Tuesday said the U.S. would withdraw from that deal. He said he would reimpose economic sanctions that were waived when the deal was signed in 2015. The U.S. Treasury said the sanctions would target industries including Iran's oil sector, aircraft manufacturers exporting to Iran, amongst other things. U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton is reported as saying that European companies doing business in Iran will have to stop doing so within 6 months or face U.S. sanctions. In sports, Super Eagles head coach Gino Roy says he is counting on his scouts to give him the needed information about the Croatian national team. The Eagles are in the same group as Croatia at the 2018 FIFA World Cup finals, which will be hosted by Russia between June and July. Nigeria's Group D also includes Argentina and Iceland. Nigeria and Croatia will lock horns at the Kaliningrad Stadium on the 16th of June 2018. That's the news this hour, but we'd like to remind you that President Muhammadu Buhari is in London on a 4-day medical trip. And again, Senate summons police IG and other security chiefs over killings across the country. In sports, Super Eagles manager says he needs more information on 2018 World Cup rivals. Thank you for listening. My name is Oikike Igado Kure.
Touch this. You can't touch